Today is National Book Lovers Day. How do I know? Because, of course, Twitter told me. How else would I know what day of the week it is? Last week we had this discussion sitting at Bear Waters Brewing Company because it was National IPA Day. But it was also National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. So it's probably something other than just National Book Lovers Day. But I've been wanting to talk to people about books for a long time, and I couldn't decide the best way to do it. This just gives me a little bit of an in, so I can have a small discussion about how I read and what I read and where I get it all from. Now, it's probably the where I get it all from that you're most interested in because you probably really don't care what I read. I read a lot of romance. I read a considerable amount of nonfiction. I read about how to deal with social media. I read books on cooking. I read books on eating clean. I read books on how to run better, what to eat so that you run better. I read almost anything I can get my hands on. To which comes the point, how do I afford to read so much? I probably read 300 books last year. Some of those during a period of time when I was away from a computer or my smartphone and didn't have internet, so I couldn't load things on my Kindle apps. I read actual books, and I do still read books. I like the feel of paper in my hands. I just don't like the cost associated with real books. To that end, I have several things I do. I am a member of First to Read, which is a website put out by Penguin Publishing, and you can put your name into a drawing for certain new books and you'll get advanced copies of them to read. Right now I have 3 sitting in my Adobe Reader's Edition, Adobe Digital Edition, waiting for me to finish. One is by Jennifer, off the top of my head I can't remember, but it's a historical fiction about John Wilkes Booth. One is a biography, or maybe I don't think it's a memoir, but it's about Eleanor Roosevelt and her relationship with a reporter. And then there's a third one that I can't even recall what it is. Now, the reason I can't recall what it is because I also have a Kindle that has approximately 3,500 books in it. Now, a good portion of those have been read, but not all of them. Some of them are cookbooks, and I just don't read cookbooks unless they're ones like Jeff Smith, the Frugal Gourmet, used to write. He would write cookbooks that had stories in them, that told stories about the recipes. So you would want to actually sit down and read the book before you made the things in the book. Anyway, so I belong to First to Read. I also subscribe to a number of different newsletters, electronic newsletters, from groups such as BookBub, which sends out a list of inexpensive or free books. I also get once a day for BookBub. Riffle sends out one 3 times a week that usually has at least 1 or 2 free books that are of something of interest for me. And then the biggest one, the one that cuts off in my Gmail, and I sometimes don't even look at the rest of the books that are in it because I can't imagine needing more books, is Reading Deals. And that one, sometimes I can pick up 4 or 5 free books a day. But then I have to be able to read 4 or 5 free books a day, and that's not as easy. So, it's National Book Lovers Day. What do you prefer? Do you want an actual paper book in your hand that you can feel? Definitely my preference with nonfiction because I enjoy being able to highlight and write and fold corners over on things that I want to go back and see again. Or do you prefer to have a Kindle, a Nook, an electronic reader of some sort, an app on your computer, whatever is needed, and want to have electronic books? How much do you spend on books a year? Where do you get them from? Do you go to your local bookstore, or do you order them on Amazon? What do you think is the best way to celebrate National Book Lovers Day? Let me know.